Do I feel good today? What is good, DTL Universe? It's your boy, the coach. Welcome into your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We call it DTL. We are live every single weekday morning right here on YouTube, but also simulcast with our incredible new partners at Stadium. And we're changing the game of how sports betting shows and brands are done. Wherever you find Stadium, Amazon Prime Video, you're damn right. Roku TV, YouTube TV, Stadium app, watchstadium.com. We are everywhere. And if you're watching us live, we just came on after Party Animals and the Banana Savannah, Banana Baseball, all that stuff. That's where we're at. That's how much we've climbed. But we've got to be good every single day. Everybody that comes in on the chat, we love all of you. Hit that like button on your way in. It really helps the brand grow. Now, we got a lot to get to. Can you believe that week 4 of the National Football League is here already? That's right. We're counting down tonight. DTL Prime Time Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be right before the Giants host the Dallas Cowboys. Now, before we look forward, as always, we must look back. Yesterday, well, it was an actual 4-4 day. Remember, you can also get crew exclusives if you join our premium side as well. Now, never forget, we've got more content than anybody. This is our schedule. Take a screenshot. Understand all you got to do is subscribe, turn on your notifications, and every single time we start a new show, just like DTL the podcast, which drops around 2 p.m. Eastern Time every single day, and you premium members, you get the video every single time. Now, our good friend Howie Schwab, he's always looking down. Passed away about 5-6 months ago. But every single day, as long as I'm running this damn brand, he will be a part of it. Here are our selections today, and we want you to vote on it. Cowboys, it's all gone all the way up to 6. Can you believe it? Giants plus the 6, or are we going to attack the total? Over 45, under 45, and as Howie used to say, can today be an F day? Can today be an F day? Well, it's not going to be an F day, but what's going to be, it's going to be a great day with a lot of energy, a lot of fun, and I'm so glad you came to hang out with us. So without further ado, I've got the best crew in the business. It's time for the picks. Oh, and we go 5 wide today. Look what I got. It's just like I'm like the puppet master. I got incredible crew members. Now, it is through. Raphael, what are you doing? This is not a Halloween show.
That's my puppet.
Oh, geez. That was all right, ladies and gentlemen. He is our numbers guy. Please welcome Raphael Esparza. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, crew. Good morning, coach. What a great day it is. It's Thursday. We have Thursday football. Baseball's closing in to the playoffs. But what a great evening for WNBA playoffs. Can we have a better series for the WNBA playoffs? How about a 5-game series so someone gets to play at home? We don't get to see Caitlin Clark play at home in the playoffs. Come on, WNBA.
Raphael, I've got a lot to get to. I just needed a good morning coach. That's all I needed. He is the only 5-star chef in the business, and he's on our crew. Seabass, good morning.
Morning, coach. Morning, crew. Yeah, I missed yesterday, but I'm so lost in the week. I forgot my bottle of Ace of Spades because, I made it in the club last week, and I've been on it. Everybody's doing well.
I was in a great mood. So you had to bring that up. You, A.B., and Tina kicking it in the club. Yeah. By the way, B-Mill says, that's ridiculous, Raphael. Yeah. It's every time Raphael tries to be cool, it just kind of backfires. But that's kind of on brand for him. That's his brand. Now, he is live from Memphis, Tennessee. DG, what's good, man?
Good morning, coach. Good morning, crew. And shout out to the youngest ever NBA MVP, Derrick Rose. Retired today. Beautiful career.
And we will discuss that a little bit further coming up later and educate and entertain. Now, this man, even when he's not on the show on Rant Wednesday, he still wants to take care of you at home, sending in picks because he is a team player, the man from the dirty. Big Chuck, good morning.
Morning, Coach Crew. And the $1 million question, did y'all get Vince a T-shirt and a hat sent out? That's all I want to know.
No, he's still complaining. We have to tape the Coach and Bro show later, and it's just nonstop text this morning. Where's my hat? Where's my shirt? We'll get to it. Just like we have to get to Thursday Night Football. Guys, we got to break it down tonight. It's a must-win for both teams. As we used to have to say in WWE, in the shadows of New York City. Never say New Jersey. Cowboys on the road. It's gone all the way up to 6. And Raphael, I want to start with you. The total of 45. This thing started around 4, then went to 4.5. Clearly, the public does not believe in Daniel Jones at all. Educate me.
It's kind of funny how the books who have 6 right now are the ones who had the most parlay action so far in the first 3 weeks, because everyone else has 5.5. That just tells me this game is heavily parlayed right now between the Cowboys and under money coming in. I think it will flip flop. I'll probably go with some more over action coming in throughout the day, but this one will close -6 or 6.5. I heard some books are really heavy on Dallas money line, so they might have to move it to 6.5.
Real quick, look who's in the chat trying to reprimand the host of the show, the man who invented this brand, Soupy. You're showing up in the chat today. It's East Rutherford. No, it will never be East Rutherford. It's the shadows of New York City, because that's how big-time entertainers do it. So, DG, your boy is already talking trash this morning. Your thoughts on Thursday Night Football?
I'm glad that Soupy found his way to the show today, but I think the Cowboys win this game. I think they do win it big. I know they're at that 5.5, 6 mark that the dogs have been kind of barking, as they say. But I think that the Cowboys will win tonight. They have so much to play for, so much to prove. And I think they could make sure they focus in on the rushing game for sure.
CBS, we've had a lot of talk from the Cowboys this week. CeeDee Lamb said on Tuesday, hey, this is on me. I've got to be better. Jerry Jones said sort of it's on him, but it's always been on me after 28 seasons of Super Bowl futility. But now this is getting serious because they have the highest paid player in the game in Dak. And they made a big splash signing him 5 hours before the first game of the season. But if they fall to 1-3 and lose to this Giants team in New Jersey, that could be the bottom of the barrel in week 4.
I don't know if I would call it the bottom of the barrel yet. It's going to send shockwaves through the team for sure. Jerry Jones saying that it's all on him. Well, that's just Jerry Jones wanting all of the spotlight, good, bad, or indifferent. But yeah, I mean, I like Dallas big here as well. I don't think we're going to have that issue, but I don't think it sets anything off.
John Eccles says CeeDee Lamb overs. Think Giants top 2 corners are out. Thank you, John. Now, for those of you that are new to the brand, when you hear Raphael and Seabass talk, they will never agree with. I'm a person that likes to push the envelope. They like to pump the brakes all the time, just like what you heard from Seabass right there. 1-3 Seabass, and that's not going to be the bottom of the barrel losing to the Giants. Seriously.
They don't play in a tough division. I don't see it being a problem. There's ways to come back from that. Their schedule isn't totally terrible for the rest of the year. We still got the Redskins twice and the Giants again.
Sounds like a man who's got a baby on the way in 2 weeks. That's what it sounds like to me. Very, very positive. Not. Now, I love Seabass. All right, Charles, let me come over to you, big boy, because you're always kind of the voice of Reese, and you kind of bring us back to the center. When you look at these numbers, is there any universe that you live in that we would play the Giants at +210 on the money line?
I would think if it's a higher scoring game, it's going to favor the Giants. And last time we spoke, this total was at 44, and I was convinced we may see the under. Now we're done creeped up 2 points. So I think the higher this game gets, the more chances the Giants stand to win it.
All right, very good. All right, so those are the numbers according to DraftKings. We've got to get to our picks, though, because we have a lot. We do the straight picks here in the A's. If you're new, we're going to have the props in the B's today. So where do we start? Well, Chuck, I'm going to come right back to you because there's a lot of day soccer today. And here at DTL, we love ourselves some early cashes to then have some money to play in the evening. Start us off.
Match day 7, the La Liga wraps up today with Celta Vigo, who have scored 9 straight and averaged 2.7 team goals at home, while Atletico Madrid are averaging 1.3 team goals away from the capital city. The both teams to score has been a rinse and repeat play in Celta Vigo games that has cashed 9 straight, and we look to make that 10 today in La Liga, which this one's going off at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, I have 2 parlays, Europa League action. First off, these are both teams the scores, Ajax and Besiktas and Lyon Olympiacos, +170. Lastly, Frankfurt team total over 1.5. They play Plens, and then Tottenham Karabag to get over 2.5 full-time goals.
Sometimes I just like to hear you try to say all those damn names. We're going to have a spelling bee at some point. We're going to have a spelling bee. B. Mill says, I love the La Liga play, Charles. So do I. 3 big games today. That game starts at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Celta Vigo, they've been an offensive juggernaut as of late. They've been scoring a lot of goals. Am I right, Charles?
100% every game. They've, like I said, 9 straight they've scored in, and both teams are scoring over 2.5 is cashed to 9 straight, over 2.5 is cashed to 9 straight. So yeah, just money machines.
You're damn
Next
right,
level.
Money Machine. You're damn right. I love that play today. All right, Raphael, let me come over to you. You have 2 big plays today. Talk to me.
And there are 2 overs, coach, because I learned how to know the rules. Cowboys-Giants first quarter over 8.5 minus 110. This is look at 2 ways. A, the Cowboys defense suck. And B, the Cowboys first quarter has cashed over 8.5 all 3 straight games. So I'm just rolling with the dice because I don't think the Cowboys defense improved in 5 to 6 days. So I'm going to take the first quarter over 8.5. And then we're going to college football. South Florida versus Tulane, over 8 total touchdowns, minus 120. USF scored 10 USF against Southern Miss scored 10 touchdowns in that game. I think we're going to see a high scoring game, a total 64.5. It's moving upwards. We're going to see a lot of points in this game. So I'll take the total over 8 total touchdowns in that game.
That's a lot of touchdowns. That is a lot of touchdowns. Now, I think we might have a small mistake. Producer Man's doing a lot these days. He's doing a lot these days. But Matt already pointed it out. I looked it up. The full game is 12.5. I believe, DG, yours is a first half play, correct?
That's correct. And that could be on me. Listen, I'm tired. But I will say that Army has been looking very good, much better than me putting in this play. But I'm going to go Army minus 6.5 in the first half. Listen, I think this team is a very good team, but it's more about Temple. Temple isn't good at all. But Army, they score 21 points in the first half on average in the season, while only allowing 3.5. If you look at Temple actually allows 24.8 points in the first half alone. I think that number is going to be there for us. So I'm expecting Army to win by at least a touchdown and be leading at halftime.
Okay. I like it a lot. And if I know Producer Man, like I think I know Producer Man, he's going to have that whole thing fixed. He's the best in the business. I'm glad you took accountability, DG. We never want to put it on him. Nobody's better than Producer Man. Now, Seabass, this is a great way to educate the fans at home because we send our picks in the night before a lot. And when you send them in, I mean, this thing's been moving. It's now at 6. You sent it in when it was at 5.5. What number would you take it up to and still play the Cowboys?
Coach, this number, I actually got it at -5 when I turned in last night and switched because for the show, as it is moving along, I take it up 6.5 for sure. I think Dallas wins big here. Dak Prescott has only lost to the Giants twice in his career. Those were both in his rookie year. And so in 13 of those other times against the Giants, they've covered 5 points 11 of those times. So I like Dallas big here. I like him at -5. I like him at -6. -6.5 is probably as high as I would go, just because that key number of 7, if we do get a push, if Daniel Jones does somehow show up and the Giants are competitive in this game. But that's about as high as I'm going to go.
I'm almost thinking maybe, as I'm just thinking out loud in real time, if we teased the Cowboys, this would take it through 0, which normally we don't like to do. I don't know why it's a mindset thing. But if we put the first half Army, that would take it down to a half. And you could have the Cowboys that basically all they have to do is win the game. I think I'd like that teaser, guys. Would you guys like that teaser?
Love it.
Right?
Love it.
Maybe we'll have to add that to the show. Army, half, -1/2, and Cowboys at +1/2 or whatever. All I got to do is win the game.
Stay on your toes.
You're the best. You're the best. Hey, we're just getting started here on Stadium. We're live every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Also, they replay the show at 4 p.m. Eastern time as well. We're getting more time. We're getting multiple showings. We like it a lot, but we're not done with our picks, not even by a long shot. We still have props. It's time to prop it up. When we come back, it's DTL in the morning live on Stadium. Now, for you OGs that watch on our YouTube page, we thank you as well, or watching on social media, and we have even more content for you. So, you know, every single NFL day, we give you some parlays according to the DraftKings. You can use that promo code Combine, bet $5, get $250. Now, this is the Cowboys side of things. You see them on the screen, plus 200, plus 305, plus 750. DG, let me start with you. Which one of these parlays, if you had to play one, would you like?
I'm probably going to go all the way up to the biggest. I think the Cowboys win by a touchdown and then Dak 25 rush yards, only because I think he has to get out of the pocket a little bit. And I think they really honestly need to win. So I'm going to go with that one. It's plus 750.
Big Chuck.
You know, I keep mine conservative, so I would take the Cowboys money line. So that way, if it's in that teaser and Dak to throw at least one interception, we tend to see these primetime picks at plus 200 is fine with me.
Seabass.
Listen, the last time that I said that a team was going to break out, have a good game that they needed, I also went with the big money parlay. That was Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I'm going to do it again. Cowboys -6, Dak Prescott 25 plus rushing yards. I think that Dak, even though he hasn't said that these losses are on him, I think he's going to speak tonight, but through his play. And I like to see him also get a couple rushes in there as well. So give me that plus 750.
Seabass is coming a savage, touting his own stuff. I love it. Raphael, bring us home.
I'm also going conservative because I just don't trust the Cowboys defense tonight. So I'm going to take the Cowboys money line just straight up to win and Dak Prescott to throw 1+ interception. I'll take the 2-1 until the Cowboys can show me something different.
I'm going to take the same one because I'm envisioning that Dak face, you know, when he throws the interception and he's like, what just happened? Why did I throw it there? And that could happen at least one time, even in a blowout win. So I'm going to take the plus 200 as well. Again, these are parlays according to our friends over at DraftKings. All right, still to come here on the show. You guys know we have to prop it up. We've got parlays on the other side. If you're so inclined to play the Giants, who knows? And also, we're going to educate and entertain and look forward to Sunday Night Football, a pivotal one, Bills and the Ravens. But we are back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. Back to DTL in the morning, live on Stadium. If you're watching us on demand in the afternoon, we value you as well. Now, gentlemen, we have props that we've got to talk about today. And as I look at my rundown, Charles, I'm coming over to you because there's so many different ways that books allow us to bet, and it really puts the onus on you as a handicapper to find those plays. I love what you have for us to start us off.
Yeah, I went a little different. Giants to lose a fumble. They've had 5 fumbles this season, and they've lost 3 of those. They actually fumbled 3 times last week and lost 2 of those. And week 1 versus the Cowboys last season, they fumbled 5 times and lost 1 of those. So I can definitely see them putting one on the ground, and us cashing this plus 130 for Giants to lose a fumble.
Shout out to the chat. Some people are actually rooting for the Giants tonight. Very interesting. Simply because everybody else is on the Cowboys. Interesting handicapping for you as well out there, crew. Now, Seabass, I'm coming down to you because you've got 2 big plays tonight, and I need to hear the reason why.
Coach, I'm going to take Brandon Aubrey over 7.5 kicking points tonight. He's done this in 2 out of his 3 games this year. The first 2 games were really big. They struggled a little bit last week, but again, I see a lot of points here, so I'm going to take Brandon Aubrey. And then I'm going to take DeMarcus Lawrence over half a sack. He hasn't had a sack in his last 2 games, but he did get 2 against Cleveland. The Giants have given up 5 sacks at home, so plus money to grab a sack tonight. Give me DeMarcus Lawrence.
All right, real quick, going back to Charles. Matt says even money for over 2.5 turnovers. Interesting thought. The Giants lose a fumble. There's a lot of different ways to play it. Seabass, thank you. Big Chuck, thank you. Now, DG, let me come over to you, big boy. What do you like tonight as far as props are concerned?
Devin Singletary is honestly a very good and the only running back for the Giants. I'm going to go over 15.5 receiving yards at -115. The Cowboys allow the 4th most rushing yards, but they also allow the 4th most receiving yards. And the Cowboys have allowed every running back who's had a stat, whatever possible, a number that is on the books for receiving, they've allowed them to go over in every game this season. We're going to go Devin Singletary over 15.5 receiving yards. And then I'm going to piggyback off of Seabass. We're going to go Brandon Aubrey over 1.5 field goals. It's at -140. It is a little juicy. He's cleared this in every single game this season. He is a very good kicker, reliable kicker. He also kicks deep. So we're going to go Brendan Aubrey over 1.5 field goals at -140.
Kevin says, I love the Aubrey pick. He just scores points. Boom. It may not be the sexiest, but do you know where they don't care about being sexy?
Pay window.
In the club. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Raphael, do not let me go off right now because that was actually a very savage play right there by Seabass. Very
That's
savage.
pretty funny too.
Yeah. That's what savage means, Raphael. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Oh
I'm gonna let my bobblehead do my place.
Oh my God. All right. And as fate would have it, I'm coming over to you, Raphael, Mr. Hop, too cool for school. All right. Now, the one thing that's never been said all year in 2024 is, hey, did you see Daniel Jones throw 2 touchdowns today for the Giants? But yet tonight, that's where you're going, big boy. Against the grain. You're up.
He's actually thrown this twice. 2 straight games, he's thrown 2 touchdown passes.
I understand that. It was a joke.
I know, but
I'm kidding.
I actually had to call Zaslow because unlike DG, I like to respect the guy. But the Dallas defense sucks. That's why I'm going with Daniel Jones to throw 2 touchdown passes. Hey, the Cowboys could win this game. They can also lose this game. I'm going to wait to see how high this number goes. But I think Danny will throw some dimes all over the place. I think he throws 3 touchdown passes. You might want to look at that prop bet as well. I think he has a big game, so everyone can shut up about him and the Giants quarterback situation. I think Danny Dimes has a big game tonight at home.
B Mills says Coach's flow is DOA right now. B Mills, truer words have never been spoken. I don't even know why I show up sometimes. I'm just going to hand it off like the Cowboys are going to do tonight. To who? I don't know. But we'll talk about it later in key matchups. I can promise you that. That is next level hosting right there. Now, Austin says Raphael doesn't get the show. That's probably true, Austin. That's probably true. Now, we're more than just sports betting. We're more than just picks. We want to educate you. We want to make you a smarter sports fan. So then when it makes sense, then you're educated on said sport. So we have a segment, as fate would have it, called Educate and Entertain. Oh, we've got a lot of topics today to get to. Now, here's the thing, Raphael, I'm going to start with you because a very interesting thing happened in baseball yesterday. In horrible weather, there's a lot of hurricane situations going on in Florida and all the way up the coast. So the Mets and the Braves were canceled. Major League Baseball has put a doubleheader on Monday, which could mean everything. Do you like this play by MLB?
Well, they have no choice unless they were going to move it to a different ballpark and maybe try to play it on a Sunday, which I heard they tried calling around to see if they can use a ballpark for Sunday. And I think the 2 ballparks or the 2 cities they called said no. They had no choice. This is a hurricane. It's going to be a Hurricane 4. I'm just hoping everyone is safe close to Tallahassee. I know baseball is right now. We're getting close to the playoffs that starts next week. But Major League Baseball had no choice because of the situation that they're in right now. And it just sucks that these 2 teams are fighting for playoff positions and who's going to make it, who's not. It's going to be a great doubleheader on Monday when there's supposed to be no baseball on Monday.
Think about this, Seabass. I mean, the Mets right now and Arizona are tied. Atlanta is 1 game back. Depending on the weekend, this could mean everything on Monday. We might have the playoffs start a day early.
They're definitely going to be starting a day early. Like Raphael said, my kid's just north of Tampa. So, yes, make sure everyone is safe there. The hurricanes, no joke. I've been through one myself. It's not a fun time. So, Major League Baseball, right, no choice, had to move this. But it's going to be a great day for baseball. Doubleheader, 2 games. Everything is on the line. It's a great day. Great thing.
Now, DG, it is a great thing. But if you're the players, now it changes potentially your pitching rotation, how you play everything. I like disruption, and this disrupts a lot of things. Do you?
I love it. I think it only makes the game interesting. As a player, I absolutely hate it because I want to be in my normal workflow. And I also know how my schedule is, how my life is. I'm telling my wife, hey, we're going to be out of town these days. Oh, things changing. Yeah, a lot of stuff can be effed up because of this. But in the end, the fans win. You're talking about two teams that are right neck and neck. Whoever wins that series, maybe those two games sweeps, they could actually go into the playoffs.
Shout out to Brian. Question in the chat, Charles, which is a good one. Is this actually a good thing for the Diamondbacks, who are tied with the Mets 1 game ahead of Atlanta?
Absolutely. And to think about it, both teams are going to come off tough series over the weekend. The Braves have the Royals, and then the Mets have the Brewers. So, yeah, and then we get that great standalone baseball on Monday. So, yeah, anticipation on how the bullpens will look if they'll get taxed over the weekend. So, yeah, definitely can affect. And who can't live with some doubleheader baseball standalone on Monday?
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, and I think since the Brewers are kind of locked in, I would rather play the Brewers than the Royals, who are still playing for their wild card lives and things of that nature. So the matchup absolutely matters. Now, if you guys were wondering why I'm wearing the Lakers hat today, I got a bunch of hats. But DG, you're our resident NBA guy. You host the Grizzlies post-game show in Memphis. You're getting ready to have your schedule really ramped up here in the next month or so. But out in LA, JJ Redick, the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, said on Wednesday, that they're going to have LeBron and Bronny weigh in on how they handle the historic him being on the same court with his son for the very first time. Are they trying to tell us that they have not talked to them yet, and we're at the end of September, and that hasn't happened? That's where I stopped listening. You?
Yeah, I'm in the same spot. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is just dumb. Are we just like trying to just kind of feed the fans? Like, do they think we're stupid? Like, yes, you should do that. Yes, they should talk about it. But like, did we expect them to not talk about it? Have they not been talking about it? Like, what are we doing? This is dumb. This is la la land. This is stupidity to me.
It really, really is. Seabass, let me come over to you. It's a big story, and I was excited about it until LeBron took every last dollar, over $50 million, and then they added nobody. They're going to be a terrible team. They're going to have to lean into this father-son thing. But to talk about it yesterday, it didn't make any sense to me.
Curmudgeon Chris is back. Listen, this is not the first time this has ever happened. First time in the NBA, but maybe you guys remember a great baseball player by the name of Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. There was none of the hoopla that we're getting right now. I don't care what they're doing. They were talking about a pickup game in practice, and LeBron went baseline and dunked on his son or whatever he did and trash talked his kid. Wow. I again, like DG said, who cares? Who cares? Move along.
He's also, Raphael, the highest paid player, Bronny I'm talking about, at his draft position. 4 years, $7 million. Most guys get about 400,000 or 500,000 in that spot. The whole thing, I feel like they fumbled the bag. Do you, Raphael?
I do, and I agree. Who cares? I mean, we talk about the Cowboys and America's team. How many Super Bowls have they won lately? The Lakers, the NBA America's team. How many champions they won lately? The Yankees, they're a baseball team of the year. How many champions have they won? Just give me ships, and then we'll talk about your team. And the Lakers aren't going to get a ship anytime soon. So I could care less about those two.
They are a bad team. I think that's what this boils down to, Charles, is that for years, LeBron talked about this possibility. And I always thought, man, he's going to do everything in his power, not only to play with his son, but to have a good team with his son. Because think about the legacy they could leave if they went deep into the playoffs or, God forbid, win a championship. Yeah. But when I would have taken the league minimum if I'm LeBron. Do you know how many good players 50 million could have got? But he takes all of that. Charles, I just don't agree with any of this.
Not at all. Yeah, a plethora of players he could have assembled on that team. But I think it may be also a way of the NBA getting a little shine back. The NBA or the NFL has the spotlight, so get a little shine on them before the season starts. This is probably their biggest story going into the season. So, yeah, I would have definitely liked to send a better team. And it's not like LeBron didn't need the money. That's the most baffling part of it. He could have spared a few for free agents. So, yeah, it's all baffling to me, but that's just LeBron.
I understand in the NFL, and we've talked about on the show quite a few times, taking every last dollar because injuries are a real deal. But in the NBA, when you're a billionaire and you're 39 years old and you don't need the money, you take the league minimum. I don't care what the union tells you to do. I just hate that he didn't set up his team better. All right, what a good show so far today. When we come back on the other side, we're looking at key matchups, quarterback matchups, Thursday Night Football. We are live on a Thursday on Stadia. And for you OGs, we continue on here on our YouTube page. And we've already looked at the Cowboys parlays. Now it's time to look at the Giants parlays if you are so inclined. Look at these numbers. +10, +6, +6. DG. These are very, very, very risky. But if you had to, where would you go?
I'm going to go with the first one at +175. I do think the Giants can keep it within 10, and I think Neighbors is playing incredible right now. He's the go-to receiver for Daniel Jones, so +175.
Neighbors is a stud. Seabass, talk to me.
Since I told you all to play Cowboys up to -6.5, the only one that I can realistically take here is the Giants +10 and Malik Neighbors anytime TD. So we'll leave it there.
I love curmudgeon Chris. Big Chuck.
Make that 3. Giants +10 and Malik Neighbors to anytime touchdown. He has been an absolute machine. Daniel Jones' favorite target. Yeah, I'll take the +175.
Boom and boom. Raphael, talk to me.
Yeah, the chat's just screaming at me that I hate the Cowboys. But I'm taking the Giants +10 and Neighbors anytime TB. We should be talking more about Neighbors than the Washington QB, but it's all about rookie QBs nowadays. But I'll take the +175.
And I will continue to talk about Mr. Daniels. You're not going to stop me, Raphael, just because you want to pump the brakes. But I think the Giants don't stay within 7 points. So if I had to play, you got to take the +10, and you got to take the Neighbors anytime touchdown +175. Now, real quick, producer man, I need to get back on screen. You guys all know that we're a team, we're a family, we're a crew. And that when you need to be called out, I'm going to call you out. I'm all about fighting in the chat, talking trash, all that kind of stuff. But when we start to get nasty, that's when I draw the line. You know who you are. Stop it, or you're going to get blocked and knocked out of there. We're a team. Trash talk, great. Fantastic. But don't take shots. Don't get personal. And that's all I'm going to say. That's not what we do here at DTL. All right? Keep it positive all the time. Let's other shows do that. We don't do that here. All right. Sorry for making that negative. Sometimes it has to be said. That's what my dad used to say in church when he called me out all the time. All right, we've got a lot to get to. We dive deeper into Thursday night football. We are back on Stadium in 5 seconds.
Welcome to the no-fly zone. Here's Dak Prescott facing the Giants secondary. Not as bad as you might think. The Giants secondary has some great spots. Now, the trouble for them is that Dak Prescott, as you see on the screen here, this is his passing chart against the Saints earlier this season. Dak Prescott can go. He can make every throw in the NFL, but you see across the middle of the field, CeeDee Lamb, one of, if not the best slot receiver in the NFL, and he will use that over and over and over. But Dak can pick on your secondary where you have weaknesses. He can go right. He can spray it left. He can go short. He can throw deep. The problem with the Cowboys is there is no run game. That is where he will get into trouble. If the Giants could bring pressure and force him to throw over the middle, deep left, or even short right on a very quick, non-good decision-making plan, they will pick him off. You see the Giants are going to look to pressure and drop their secondary back, force Dak into midfield mistakes. The Cowboys, they need to play with a lead and have a balanced offense. Run the ball, throw the ball, keep it simple and balanced, and create the run game. If they don't, it is going to be trouble for Dak Prescott. You see it, 3 out of 5 stars right there. Dak, yep, he's throwing a pick tonight. Now let's jump over to Daniel Jones. You see, Daniel Jones, this was last week against the Browns. He is a little bit more balanced, but can throw it better than people might think. Take a look here at the Cowboy secondary. It is not what it once was. Daniel Jones will have success 5 yards and in. It's when he has to go beyond that is where he finds trouble. Deep middle, picked off. Intermediate left, picked off. Intermediate right, picked off. And take a look right there at the line of scrimmage. Balls get tipped. Ball, Oski taking it back to the house. Daniel Jones is going to face trouble because what he needs is a timer in the pocket. All right, Dallas is going to bring pressure. Do not hold the ball. All right, get it out. Know where you're going. Short passes to neutralize said rush. Throw it right at the rush, same as you would with a draw. Giants, they also must use a run game. And long drives, keep Dallas's offense off the field and play ahead of the sticks. 4 out of 5 stars for Daniel Jones. Yep, he's throwing a pick tonight too. Welcome to the no-fly zone.
Wow, I love the no-fly zone early on a Thursday. Now, we've got 2 quarterbacks tonight. And AB just did an amazing job breaking it down. But it still blows my mind that Daniel Jones, DG, has a 4, meaning in the $40 million range next to his name. Now, he's playing against a guy that's making $60 million a game, but they both have a lot to prove. Here are their stats so far this year. Which one do you have more confidence in prime time?
I have more confidence overall in Dak, but I think this is an important game for Daniel Jones as well. I think he's going to have to obviously go up against the zone defense. He's going to have to pick his parts, but also he's going to be able to get out of the pocket and scramble a little bit. And so I know his number's a little high on his rush yards, but that would be a number I would like to probably play live after we see a couple series and see how the game's going. Look at possibly taking Daniel Jones with his rush yards.
That's the whole thing, CBS, and DG just hit on it. That Daniel Jones, when he's playing well, he does use his legs. When they try to just have him in the pocket throwing the ball, that's not the game plan. So maybe we should lean into his rushing yards tonight, CBS.
He's got the tendency to break off a big run as long as he doesn't, trip and fall on the 10-yard line. But yeah, he does use his legs. That's when he does become more effective. I think that opens up the field. But I've got to look at Dak tonight. I think this is his game to lose, and I think he shows up pretty big tonight.
Raphael, whenever he has a big game in the past, he has had some gigantic games, and this is prime time. This is Thursday night. This is all eyes on him. Does Dak play like a $60 million quarterback tonight?
I think he does. I think the Cowboys start out fast. That's why I kind of like Daniel Jones' numbers. His passing yards opened up at 189.5. His passing yards. Now it's bet all the way up to 201.5. I think there'd be two situations. A, the Cowboys defense can struggle again, or B, the Giants are going to be playing from behind and he's going to have to throw a lot. So two of those factors can come in. I like the Cowboys to keep this game in reach. They dominated the Giants. I think they won 13 out of their last 14 meetings, covered 7 out of their last 10. I just think the way that Dallas has been playing lately, you have to maybe take it the plus points and take it all that plus money on Daniel Jones' passing yards and rushing yards tonight.
So on the other side, Mark in the chat brings up a couple of good stats, Charles, that Prescott has averaged over 300 yards a game and over 43 pass attempts in the last 5 games on average. If it's close, the attempts are going to be the play tonight.
I love the attempts. I'm glad you brought that one up. I guess, especially with no running game, I would definitely zero in on Dak with the attempts. So, but Daniel Jones, yeah, the rushing, that used to always be a number one play for me, but he's kind of tapered it back a little bit. But I would also look for Daniel Jones rushing yards. I also like that one. So, yeah, attempts and rushing yards, I'm all aboard.
Boom and boom. Now, we talked about other names tonight that we can sink our teeth into. Wouldn't you all agree that the running back, at least for the first 3 weeks, is back? They are leaning a lot of teams into running backs, and the games are going a lot quicker. Tonight, Rico Dowdle on one side, Devin Singletary on the other. Now, these are the prop lines at DraftKings. And DG, I'm looking down there at the bottom. If we want to get a little crazy, plus 1,400 for 2+ touchdowns. But that would mean they'd have to run it a lot inside the red zone in all likelihood. Do you see something on either side here you like?
So I have a crew play on Devin Singletary that I'm going to keep till a little bit later. But one play that I do love is Rico Dowdle on his receiving yards. The line just came out. It's dropped down to like 13.5 for Rico Dowdle at -110 on FanDuel. It's 14.5 everywhere else. I like him to get up to possibly 25 receiving yards, and that's plus 200 on the old DraftKings.
Wow, look at that tease. Now, my man Seabass is starting to get a lot of love. John says Seabass is confident these days. It's called reps. He's getting a lot of reps, and the man is showing out and getting better, and I love it. But Seabass, when we look at these two right here, any numbers here jump out to you?
Well, Coach, ever since I got in the club, that's a different subject. Sorry. No, I didn't turn this one in today just for the show. I turned in what I turned in, but I have Rico Dowdle over 9.5 rush attempts. I got it over on Fliff at a really good price at -120. Most books were a lot higher than that. So I do like him. I think Dallas does have to set up the run a little bit to get CD involved later.
You say Flip? What book
Fliff,
did you find that?
Fliff, F-L-I-F-F, Fliff.
All right, there's a lot of books out there.
Yes.
Now, Raphael, he's always working for the crew. Over 9.5 attempts for Dowdle. It seems low, but not when then you have Charles talk about the pass attempts. They've been very kind of uneven. What do you see tonight with these running backs?
Yeah, it does seem low for Uncle Rico, but I kind of like his 39.5. I think that we'll see a lot of rushing yards. Again, if they have the lead early, they're going to want to run the ball to try to take the clock out. But Singletary, I love his rushing and receiving yards. He could have a big game. Just like DG and Super always say, the dump off passes can be really big for Singletary. So I like his rushing yards and receiving yards. Both backs have pretty big evenings.
Yeah, we've seen in the past when Saquon Barkley was there, Charles, that they would just load up, especially on games where it was obvious that they said, let's shorten the game and try to just yuck the Dallas Cowboys. Don't make it a flashy game. And if that's the case tonight, then Singletary, there could be any of those numbers that could be in play.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been pretty much the workhorse besides Neighbors. So, yeah, I like that combo play because I could definitely see him getting rushing yards and then those screen passes out of the backfield. Or you could also look at the Dowdle anytime touchdown at plus 180. He had one against the Giants last time they played. So down around the goal line, you never know. That might be a good choice. But I definitely like Singletary in that combo situation because I definitely see him out of the backfield and catching those little short dump off screen passes.
I absolutely love it. Real quick, DG, the chat's asking, where's Soupy? Did he get the boot?
I
We
think
have a schedule, right?
I'm not sure what happened to him. Maybe he got put in timeout by his kiddo that he's watching. I'm not sure.
Well,
It's his phone.
we've got a lot of daycare issues on the crew these days. A lot of bedtimes that got to be met. But hey, I feel like I'm a pretty good boss when it comes to schedule. Am I not? Am I pretty easy going?
Yeah.
I have no kids, coach.
You're always trying to kiss it, and I appreciate it. I was once involved in a club that was very similar to that. All right, one more comparison we need to look at. And this is a guy, DG, that came out on Tuesday and said, hey, it's on me. I need to be better. But 81.5 is a big number in a game that we think the script could be the Giants slowing things down. These are the prop lines according to DraftKings. Talk to me.
I have to go with Neighbors here just for the simple fact of the trash talk that's going on online within Neighbors and Diggs. It has been exceptional. I know that CeeDee Lamb kind of said that it was his fault. So I know he's going to play with his hair on fire, but you have to give me a little bit of the pettiness. And I love Neighbors just trying to go off here. So I'm going to look at Neighbors and his receiving yards. Probably going to try to catch that live because that line is pretty high.
By the way, DG, look who just jumped back into the chat. All of a sudden, his ears are all perking up because I'm all good. I'll see you tonight on Primetime Live. Yes, he will. And we have all of our fantasy picks on Friday's show. Seabass, let me come over to you. I love both of these wide receivers. Just a matter of can the quarterbacks get them the ball?
I also like both of them. Very entertaining. Ability to get down the field, be electric. I got over at MGM, CeeDee Lamb, his yards 85.5. That I think I like the under on that as well. He might have a good game scoring touchdowns. I'm not opposed to the 2+ touchdowns for CeeDee, but I don't think his yards are going to be that high tonight.
Austin says Lamb is going to let everybody down again. Raphael, do you agree with that?
No, I think both wide receivers have big games, but I'm excited to watch both these on the field have big numbers. But so my luck would be a 6-3 game, and it's a running back type of a game. But I love what Neighbors has been doing. We should be talking about him more. He's been fantastic the last 2 games. This is a great battle between both wide receivers. I'm excited to watch both of them, but I think Neighbors has a better game tonight.
Charles, I got about 20 seconds for you, pal.
Oh, I'm all about Neighbors. And look at those 2+ touchdowns. That's plus 750. He had 2 last week. He's become a red zone target for Danny Dimes.
Can I just tell you how beautiful the crew looks on my big screen next to me? I just happen to have Amazon Prime on right now. Just right now I'm looking at DG because they're a little bit behind. That's what happens in TV. But he's talking, just looking all glorious. It wasn't that long ago that we were not on Amazon Prime, and we're taking steps forward. Perhaps just like the Cowboys, we'll take a step forward tonight. Again, next level hosting right there. Now, still to come, if you weren't here at the top of the hour, where were you? Don't worry. We got you covered. The little thing we call the whip around. It's DTL, getting your morning started right live on Stadium. All right, for all you OGs, we continue here on our YouTube page. A lot of degenerates out there that you can't wait for the entire game to get over. So what do? We give you a couple of first half bets to sink your teeth into. So they're on the screen, 2 from each team. DG, let me start with you. Where are you headed?
I like the Cowboys total team over 12.5. I think if they cover that -2.5 in the first half, I think they have to score at least 13 points.
Boom and boom. Big Chuck, coming to you.
Yeah, I'm all aboard that Cowboys team total over 12.5. Oh, even though I went back and forth with Giants team total over 9.5, I think they may be tricky, but I'm going to land on Cowboys team total over 12.5.
Seabass.
Since those two took the Cowboys team total over 12.5, I'm going to take the Cowboys -2.5. I've already said I like them in a big way tonight. I think the Cowboys cover 2.5 first half easily.
Raphael.
Yeah, I'm all about the Cowboys team total over 12.5. I think we see a lot of points scored in the first. And this one was first half, a lot of points. Second half, maybe no points. So, but team total over 12.5 for boys.
That's exactly where I'm going to go as well. I've hit a couple of these in the last few games, and a lot of teams are coming out in the game script, the very aggressive early, and then kind of protect the lead late. So I will also take the Cowboys team total over 12.5. Now, Robert, a couple of chat comments. This show is going to grow exponentially, and it's more than deserved. Very, very well said, Robert. We're already growing every single day a little bit more. But Seabass, you just mentioned that we're in the break. You just mentioned you'd already talked about something previous in the show. Did you say that?
As I was off camera, I'm cursing myself, but yes. I as soon as I said it, it's just this other stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of F-bombs going off in my head.
Hey, you know what Howie used to say? It can be an F day. It can be an F day.
Yeah.
Man, I miss him so much. All right, we are just about ready to come back. What a good morning. Good, positive morning for everybody. So thank you for that. We are back live on Stadium, and we're back live in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back. It's DTL in the morning. If you're watching us on demand at 4 in the afternoon, we continue to grow. We have a presence everywhere on Stadium, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Roku TV. We are everywhere. Now, Sunday night, we also have DTL Prime Time Live, and this is a big one. And I mean a big one. DG, who could have ever thought before the season started that when we look at this game, that one team would be 3-0, Buffalo, but then you got another team that would be 1-2, and barely, I guess if you look at the scoreboard, 1-2. But the Ravens, at least they have the Bills coming to their house. Currently, it's sitting at 2.5 under that all-important 3 number and the total of 46.5. What does your look-ahead handicapping tell you?
I like the Buffalo Bills a lot, and I know that might shock some people, but they played so well, and I know the Ravens are coming off of that beatdown of the Cowboys, but I just think that Buffalo is playing well. I think that they can really play well against Baltimore here, but also, just looking at these two teams, Buffalo could go 4-0, and then you go 1-3 for Baltimore. Baltimore has so much to play for, so that's why I enjoy this so much, is because Baltimore has so much on the line tonight or whenever they play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Kevin says some great games already this year. Good job, NFL. I agree with that, Kevin. Now, Seabass, let me come over to you, because the Bills, they've looked great at home in 2 games. They scored 34 against Arizona last week, 47 against Jacksonville. But when they went on the road to Miami, it was a very workmanlike performance, and they still scored 31. It seems like to me the offense is humming, and the Ravens cannot slip up even for a little bit. Your take?
I'm really impressed with Buffalo. I thought with the offseason that they had, that they would not be in the position that they are in right now. So I don't know how Baltimore is favored at home in this. I mean, I'm guessing it's because they're at home. For me, I'm going to take the over in this game. There's a lot going on here, and I'm hoping it's going to be a really good game. I just didn't expect to see these two teams I thought maybe the opposite actually. So, but points have been scored in a lot of these games. I'm going to take Buffalo.
And that's exactly where I was going to go too, is hitting the total, because I could see either team winning this game despite how the Ravens have started off. Big Chuck, talk to me.
Yeah, my original plan was I was hoping that the Bills would have a bad game on Monday, then I would get on the Bills as a dog. But now I'm seeing there's a lot of pretty much they're going to be a public dog, so I'm really switching my focus over to the Ravens. Probably on that money line. I was even looking at their team total, and that total it's creeping up. We're seeing it some 47s. I'm anxious to see what it's going to look like by Sunday night if we get up closer to 48. But yeah, circling the Ravens, maybe their team total, maybe even in the full game total.
Charles, me and you are like two birds of a feather. If it's below 3, I'm taking the points out, and I'm just going to pay that money line and lay the 30 or 40 cents of juice. Now, Raphael, Robbie Hockey says Japan is an automatic Shakir over prop, and he's right. If you watched Buffalo start the game last week, it was Shakir. They clearly were trying to get him the rock. The nation needs to know this guy now.
Yeah, I agree. This is the game where maybe you just don't bet the game, the total, or the side, and just bet prop bets, because I'm excited to watch this game. It's probably one of the best games so far this young football season. I agree. I didn't think the Buffalo Bills would be like this. So hats off to Bills Mafia, and hats off to the Bills coaching staff for preparing this team for the situation that they're in right now. It's a fantastic game. I'm just diving in on props right now because it's a coin flip. I can see Buffalo winning. This one will probably close around 2. I think Buffalo money will come in. Total money will probably go in on the over. We'll probably see 47.5. Would not shock me if we see 2 or 1.5 by closing number.
And I know if anything moves, you will be the guy to let us know, because that's your job on the crew, and we absolutely love you for it. All right, a lot of you not here at 10 a.m. We get it. You got jobs, you got meetings, you got things to do. Maybe you're at Target like Soupy. I don't know. But we take care of you because we understand an hour is a long time. We don't fight it. We embrace it in a little something we like to call the whip around. This is where we go through every single bet, kind of one nugget, 10 seconds or less. But we just want you guys to understand where we're coming from before we send you out into the world. And if you're living in the Northeast, be very careful. They're looking for people, apparently. All right, Charles, coming over to you, big boy. What do you got?
La Liga action. Celta Vigo, Atletico Madrid, both teams to score. This is cashed in 9 straight Celta Vigo matches. Then a couple of Europa League parlays. First, Ajax and Besiktas, both teams to score. Lyon and Olympiacos, both teams to score. Lastly, Frankfurt team total over 1.5, and Tottenham Karabakh over 2.5 full-time goals.
Oh, tasty day soccer. Give it to me. Joe says, I was dealing with my boss at 7 a.m. I said, hey, I need to get to DTL. You're damn right, Joe. And I need to get to Raphael right now. You're up, big boy.
We're going to take that Cowboys-Giants first quarter over 8.5 -110. I think we're seeing a lot of points scored quickly and often just because of how the Cowboys defense has been playing. And then we're going to college football. We're going to take South Florida and Tulane over 8 total touchdowns -120. Yes, that seems a lot, but both teams can put up points quickly. Totals around 64.5. Would not shock me if we see close to 70 points scored in this game.
Wow, 70 points. I can't wait to watch that one. DG, you're going for the first 30 minutes tonight, Army and Temple.
Yeah, we're going to go Army in the first half, -6.5. They're much better than Temple. They play much better in the first half. So let's go with them in the first half, -6.5.
Now, Joe says 2-unit tail on Seabass on Thursdays. You're up, sir.
Thursdays have been kind to me, but we're going to take the Cowboys -5.5 points. I think you still find it out there at a few books. I like them in a big way tonight, so give me the Cowboys.
I like it. Let's switch over now to the props because, Charles, you think the Giants lose at least one fumble. Put it on the ground. You're up.
They've lost 5 this season. They fumbled 5 times and lost 3. So, yeah, I like the odds of them putting one on the ground. Giants lose a fumble at +130.
My man Matt says, excellent show as always. Now I can start the day. You're damn right. Appreciate the picks and knowledge. See you all the primetime show after Charles. We cash these soccer picks. I love it, Matt. Now let's come down to Seabass. You got 2 there, big boy.
I do have two. Brandon Aubrey over 7.5 points. If I like Dallas to win big, that means there's going to be points scored, and this guy's going to have to put the ball through the uprights. So Brandon Aubrey over 7.5 points. And give me DeMarcus Lawrence over half a sack today. The Giants gave up 5 sacks already this year against Cleveland. I think he gets one today at plus money.
Let's come down to DG because you're also on Aubrey, just kind of in a different way.
Yeah, Brandon Aubrey to kick 2 field goals. He's done that in all 3 games this season. But a sneaky play you want to watch out for. DraftKings has the longest field goal at -110 for the Cowboys. Greg Joseph is not a good kicker. He's 50% from 40+ all last season and this season. And then let's go to Devin Singletary over 15.5 receiving yards. The Cowboys allowed the 4th most receiving yards to the season.
Boom. Raphael, very clear. You think Daniel Jones finds the end zone at least 2 times tonight?
Yes, Danny Dimes throws all over because he either could be playing from behind or he just wants to beat the Cowboys bad at home. So I'll take the two plus passing TDs for plus 225. And now every book pretty much has 5.5 now since the last hour we've been on. Tons of Giants money and Giants money line money has come in.
I wonder if we'll talk about that line movement tonight on DTL Primetime Live right here on Stadium, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. In addition to that, Chicago Pat, I couldn't say it any better myself. He says, look at these picks. Imagine you get a few more. Totally worth the exclusive picks. Strongly suggest to become a member. You know who you are. Why wouldn't you be a member? I mean, we're gouging you for $5.99 a month. You get extra picks every single day. You get the video of DTL, the podcast, every single day. Oh, I'm kidding. It's like we're giving it away. All right, finally, the Howie Schraub crew play of the day. They agree with Seabass. They're going with the Cowboys minus the 6 or minus the 5.5, whatever the number is. They are in simpatico. You're becoming like the new favorite capper. You really are.
Only on Thursdays, Coach. Wednesdays, no good.
Producer man, I need that one shot. Thank you very much. You understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. LeBron, be better. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Thursday tickets and maybe some Sundays straight to the pay window. Ryan Tyker, Lobo, Big Chuck, Seabass, DG, Raphael, producer man. I'm the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day right here live on Stadium. Good luck.